What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome to the Heelcast tonight. Joining me is none other than Goldberg. What's going on, Goldberg?
I'm deciding if I should keep that name after Summerslam, but we'll touch on that later.
Yes. We got a jam-packed show tonight. It's only me and Goldberg tonight, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's unfortunate we couldn't get anybody else on because there's a lot of news to cover tonight. But first and foremost, we'll plug Wrestling with Wrestling. Andre Corbeil, he promotes the Heelcast on his channel. So definitely want to give a shout out there. And Goldberg, did you check out that arcade action wrestling game yet?
I did not.
Okay, not a huge deal, but by any means, but it's something to pass the time for only $10. It's not a bad deal. It's not the best game ever though, by any means, but
good price though.
Very good price. It is. Yes, it is. All right, plugs are out of the way. So let's start with the news. Like I said, we do have a lot to touch on. Because myself went to AEW, and we're gonna talk about that.
You know what, Hurls?
Wednesday.
The funniest thing of all, we out of all the members of the Heelcast, who would have thought that the first two guys to go to an AEW show would be me and you?
Right? That makes no sense at all if you really think about it. I mean, we're the two that are the most critical of AEW, yet we're the first two to go to it out of everybody. So, yeah. I'm sure RVE and AEW Dude would have a lot more fun than we would have had, but, you know, it was good. It was good to see the stuff that we criticize so much. So, but yeah,
we all
got
to hit a show together one day, and we got to vlog it.
That would be awesome.
That would be some fun.
Yep. All right. Let's start off with the WWE news. We'll start off light. WWE, there's been a report that they are no longer interested in signing indie wrestlers. What they are more interested in now is signing wrestlers with the proper look, the superstar look, I guess. And so guys like Adam Cole, and maybe even to a lesser extent, like if AJ Styles was still out there, they would not go after these guys. They're going to go after guys that they feel that they can turn into megastars. So Goldberg, I want your opinion first, then I'll give mine.
I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's about time one company focused on getting big guys and getting wrestling back to what we knew it as. So yeah. I'm definitely interested. Unfortunately, I don't have much faith in WWE's booking or their storylines, and we're going to touch on some of that when we get to SummerSlam, because
yes,
I mean, you had big guys on this show, and what went on throughout the show. I mean, we'll get to it, but I'm just overall. Let me stick to the subject. I'm definitely on board with them only getting guys who have the look. And I'm done with the teenagers. If I want to see the teenagers, I'll flip over to TNT.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think this is actually a lot better move than it sounds. I think it's time to start getting away from what the wrestling marks want you to do. It's time to bring wrestling back to the masses. It's not time to start catering to the people who are going to watch no matter what. And I kind of feel like this is a move that'll do that. And it totally makes sense when you got guys like Bruce Pritchard. You got guys like Johnny Ace. I mean, these are guys who have, early 2000s to mid 2000s were running the company. And it was a lot similar to that. And, I do think it's a good move. Like, I think when the wrestling industry zigs, I think you got to zag sometimes. And I think that's what WWE is doing. So I actually don't really mind this move. I think it might actually be a solid move for them. So,
one quick thing. before we move on, and I know we got a million things to touch on, but
Mhm.
one quick thing. What do you think of the idea that WWE does that, hire, only signs massive guys and goes back to old school wrestling? What do you think of the idea that they should ban social media completely
You know,
and go back to kayfabe?
well, I mean, is it kind of like what they did with Twitch not to a full extent, but
Well,
to a
yeah,
lesser
but
extent?
not let these guys on Twitter anymore. No,
Yeah.
no more Twitter, because we know the real them when you let them on Twitter. No more Twitter. Cut it off for a year. Let's see how it goes. There'll be more mystique to these characters on TV. Like, even when you have a guy like Bray Wyatt, who is one of the biggest free agents right now, but when you look at it at the end of the day, the guy had a Twitter and he's talking like a normal person. Does anyone really think he's the Fiend? Like,
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the mystique of a pro wrestler, that is what's kind of missing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just we're in a different time now, and it's
yeah,
just
that's
like,
right. That's
you
why
know,
this whole thing of only signing big looking, it's not going to matter. So we're in a different time. We'll never get back to what we had. Never.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want a Twitter if I was a wrestler. I know that's a big way to market yourself if you're like on the indies, but if you're signed with WWE, just you're only going to get nothing. Sometimes I almost feel like nothing good can happen, when you give your opinions on Twitter. Case in point, Jackson Riker, or what,
Yeah, sure.
Gunner,
Yeah,
formerly.
yeah.
I mean, look all the heat he took, even though surprisingly he's the last one standing out of that group. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that would be interesting to see. I just feel like a lot of the wrestlers they have would be offended by it, or not just like not ban them from Twitter, but they have to keep character on Twitter.
I thought about that too, but I don't know. That's
Can you trust
tough.
them?
Yeah, it's tough to do. I mean, I don't know. Even them keeping character on Twitter, like, okay, like they go on the computer, like the Fiend is using a fucking computer. Like,
Yeah. I mean, especially when his first character, second character technically, was a backwoods guy, so he
yeah,
probably
like what's he
wouldn't be
gonna
on
say
there.
on there? Like, I'm gonna burn you
Yeah.
alive? Like, that could be considered hate speech. I mean,
Right. Right. Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, I know a lot of people probably think this is a negative move, but I look at WWE and I honestly think this could be a solid move for them. Going back to the big guys, and I mean, they have enough small guys. They don't need to add anymore. There's no reason for them to go after a lot of these indie darlings anymore. So, I mean, and let's talk about too. NXT is being rebranded. Did you see the logo for this?
yes, I did.
I honestly didn't know what to make of it at first,
I
but
thought it
I
was
got to
fake.
see.
Thought it was
Yeah,
fake.
yeah. It looks totally different than what you would ever expect. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with NXT going forward.
Listen,
So
I think Vince has had enough for now of what's going on. I think he gave Triple H a lot of responsibility, and I don't think he's happy with the way it's turning out. And
yeah,
Vince McMahon is the same guy who, he was successful, obviously, in putting WCW out of business. So the man can book a program. So
yeah, he can.
maybe
I wonder. I mean, he's 76. He can't do this much longer.
hopefully one more turnaround. The best way would be just to go back to the Attitude Era, but he's
Yeah,
clearly
well,
not going to do that.
they've banned the guy, the creative brain behind the Attitude Era, in my opinion. I think it's Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara. I honestly don't think
I want to see some HLA. I want to see some puppies. I'd start tuning in again.
I honestly, I think a lot of people would, but the cancel culture society we live in today, it's just like, even if it's not the majority, they're still not gonna.
But they play like, all right, we're spending too much time on this, but they play like they're they don't want to go back to that version, that rated R version, like Edge, whatever. They don't want to go back to that version. But for all the kids who love John Cena, did you see this guy's new movie?
Yes, I did.
Did you actually watch it?
Yes, I watched. Oh, I'm a huge DC fan, so yeah, I watched.
No, not that movie.
Oh,
not that movie. No,
which...
he came out with a movie on Hulu.
Oh no, I didn't see this.
Called Vacation Friends.
No, I thought you were talking about Suicide Squad.
No. He came out with a movie called Vacation Friends. Just go take a look at it if you get a chance. It's clearly not intended for kids. So if you're a kid and you like John Cena and you're looking up his movies, I might not want to tune into that one.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say Suicide Squad wasn't really necessarily for kids either.
Well, how about Blockers? That a couple years back. That movie,
yeah,
that certainly wasn't for kids.
No. I'm sure a lot of kids watched it, but
enough with the pretending kids. Let's give these kids, show them some boobs, make them men at an early age.
Oh wow.
All right, what do we got next?
All right. Well, so NXT is being rebranded, but just to touch on before we go to the next story, I wanted just to say, like, I have hope. Like, if you have any hopes of WWE ever returning to the Attitude Era, it'll never happen because they're a publicly traded company for one, and they were not a publicly traded company when that happened. Two, I mean, all about, you heard the story with Seth Rollins getting the bloodbath. The blood could not be red. It had to be black. That's why they did black. So, yeah, that's just very disappointing. Cool segment, but disappointing that it wasn't red. So, all right, next story. Let's touch on AEW. AEW coming to Universal Studios, going to film AEW Dark at the old Impact Zone. I honestly think this is a very solid move. I mean, WCW did it. TNA did it with their main show, which I think was probably the mistake there. But yeah, AEW Dark makes total sense. Like, it's, you get free cost there. You can't charge tickets, but you can still advertise your product. You can put wrestlers that you don't get to see a lot on Dynamite and Rampage. So I think that's actually a pretty solid move. What's your thoughts on this? I know you got to be pretty excited being in Florida.
I mean, being a Florida resident, it's exciting for me. I'm definitely going to book my trips. Not that I'm the biggest AEW fan, but I'm going to book my trips around that because I love to take, my kids to a wrestling show while we're there. I think that's especially a free one. So, for me, it's pretty cool. But there is a thought that pops in my head is I wanted to wait to touch on this. Nah, you know what? I'm going to wait till we talk about AEW. So,
okay. So we'll bring this kind of back to the fold when we talk about AEW. So, all right. Let's talk about some, before we get into the Impact stuff. Let's talk about the AEW rumors that are supposed to happen. So Daniel Bryan is supposed to make his debut at All Out, which is next Sunday, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's next Sunday.
Yeah.
We kind of already said, like, I think that was a better signing than CM Punk. Clearly, CM Punk still we'll talk about this as well when I talk about my experience at Dynamite and Rampage this past week. But, Daniel Bryan, another guy in his 40s, another smaller wrestler, but still insanely, probably will get a huge reaction for a while. We already said he's not really a game changer. So I guess there's really nothing to add to this, but is there anything you wanted to add since we kind of know when he's going to debut?
No, I mean, we pretty much touched on it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm certainly interested in seeing his debut and seeing the reaction compared to CM Punk's, but that's about it. I mean, I'm interested in seeing his debut, I guess. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah. Oh, All Out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I will. Illegally, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a pay-per-view.
How much is it?
I would say it's probably, I thought it was like 50.
It's gotta be 50 or 60, right? It's gotta be 49
I mean,
or 50 now.
How do you, this might sound like a dumb question, but how do you watch AEW pay-per-views? Are they still through the Bleacher Report?
Yeah. No, I think they're on pay-per-view.
Oh, so I could go on DirecTV right now.
Yeah.
And they'll be on there. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because I think at one point you had you had to watch it only through like the Bleacher Report or something like that. I can't remember
Yeah,
what it
I
was called.
don't think. Yeah, I think they're on regular pay-per-view now.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right. Next
Yeah,
thing.
hit me up. I'll give you the secret website. You don't need.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I already spent enough money on wrestling anyway, so.
Just plug your computer into your TV and watch it right on there.
Okay, that can work. We can make that happen. Adam Cole. Adam Cole is a free agent, apparently. Another guy who's kind of small and fits AEW big time because his wife's over there. So Adam Cole is going to debut at some point. There's only one guy, maybe two, on this heel cast roster that thinks Adam Cole is a big deal. I don't see the appeal in this guy. I don't think I ever really have. I might be missing something. I will also put a disclaimer out there that I never really watched a lot of his matches. I remember him in Ring of Honor, but I just never really was that impressed. Like, am I missing something, Goldberg?
So I'm with you, word for word. I haven't watched enough of him, but the thing is, if I'm interested in you, I'm gonna watch enough of you. So
Yes,
his look doesn't interest me. He's done nothing promo wise that would interest me. So just another guy, man. Not interested. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to say it. But as of right now, zero interest.
yeah. This guy just does not do anything for me. I don't know what it is, but
he's in all friends wrestling for sure.
yes, he is. And I mean, he never made it to the main roster. I think WWE wanted to push him to the main roster, but it just never happened. So didn't really ever see him because that's what I watch from WWE is the main roster. I never really watched NXT. I don't really want to because I know it's not WWE's main thing. If you're not going to treat it as the main thing, then I don't really care. I'm sure there's some great matches, but yeah. All right. Adam Cole does nothing. Let's talk about Ruby Riot. Does she do anything for you? Because with me, another one who kind of has a unique look to her, but I never really was that impressed with her in WWE.
Is she the one that was just in the triple threat match at SummerSlam?
No.
Or no, that was, who was that?
That was oh gosh, Rhea Ripley, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Two R's. That's confusing. Double R.
By the way, you want to see a crazy transformation? Look at Rhea Ripley like 5-6 years ago.
Oh, she looked like a
Totally
normal girl.
Yes, totally different
funny.
person.
That's funny.
Yep.
So Ruby Riot, no, not interested.
Yeah. I don't know.
If it was Rhea Ripley, I'd be partially interested, but in general, I don't care for women's wrestling. So.
Yeah.
Unless I see some HLA or some puppies.
Honestly, I honestly think WWE and Impact have pretty solid women's divisions. I'm not gonna lie. I think, well, and we'll get to this. All right, I'm gonna save it for the AEW show. Just remind me to bring up the AEW women's division. I'm sure we'll talk about it. No,
we will
anyway.
Because we got to compare notes because
yes.
definitely.
Okay. Rhea Ripley, possibly.
Spoiler alert. They're not possible.
Ruby Riot. 2 R's. Got them mixed up there. But Ruby Riot's apparently going to AEW. So, I don't think that does anything to help their division. I don't think it does anything to really hurt their division. I just kind of think it's there. So, did you see the NWA Empower spoilers at all?
No, but I will read
I only want to bring up one thing because this is the only thing I really.
You might as well spoil it.
Well, I don't know the whole card. I only know one thing I saw on Twitter. Apparently, Gail Kim was there. So Gail Kim was there, and Awesome Kong came out.
Oh, okay.
She was actually, Gail Kim was actually getting attacked by Taryn Terrell, who's another one of her foes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there was somebody with Taryn Terrell that I don't really know. I know she's like with some other person, but they basically, Awesome Kong grabbed the mic and basically said she's retired.
Oh.
So, yeah, I know. She comes out to help Gail, but then just basically said she's done wrestling, and she's retired. So
what a shame.
yeah, it was. I'll always remember her though in TNA because she was a legend in TNA. She's never made a mark really in any other company but TNA.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Japan. I don't know. But
No,
TNA. She's a legend in TNA.
Like she got pregnant and then it was never the same.
Yeah, I honestly think TNA should put her in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, here we go. Gail Kim came out to a nice reaction from the crowd. Austin Kong's music. Kong came out, destroyed. Kong grabbed the mic, which is rare. Talked about how she had a very hard year. She said that Kim was her greatest foe and that she loved her, and there was no other way she wanted to end her career than being in the ring with Kim. Awesome Kong has announced her retirement. Damn.
Yeah.
She
had some really bad back problems. Yeah. She's actually probably mid-40s too, and for a woman wrestler, that they just don't hold up as.
But she was such a beast, man.
She was. I want to say she was a 2-time knockouts champion. I mean, she was awesome.
Chelsea Green won a gauntlet match.
Oh, Chelsea Green was over there. Okay. A lot of Impact talent on there.
That's it. Wait, so this was only a women's show? Oh, is that why it's called?
Yeah, it was all women's show. I think they're doing tag team titles as well for NWA. Here's another question for you, though, before we really go on to anything. Mm-hmm. Who's more? Do you think NWA has more relevance than Ring of Honor, or do you think they're both two companies that really don't need to exist? Or do you like NWA? Do you like what NWA is doing?
I'm sticking around for NWA. I don't think they're as bad as Ring of Honor, and I think they're at least trying. I want to. I mean, I know it's ridiculous because Trevor Murdoch is fighting for the title, right? So, what's their show is on Sunday? Is that their big show?
Oh yeah, 73. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, here it is. You know what? It's not that bad. It's really not that bad of a card. You got a number one contendership battle royal. Mickie James versus Kylie Ray. That's not a bad match for women.
No.
Tyrus.
No, it isn't.
Tyrus, the mask. We're getting to people I don't know. Pope is in this match. Crimson is on the card. NWA National Championship. Chris Adonis versus James Storm. Two grown men at least.
Wow, James Storm's back doing stuff with NWA. Okay.
And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got the title match. Aldis versus Murdoch. Murdoch's putting his career on the line. Who asked him to do that?
So you think Murdoch's going to win the title? I kind of have a feeling he might.
You think they're going to finally take it off of?
Yeah, I do. Do you really think Murdoch's going to retire?
Would anyone care?
No. Does anyone care at all? I don't know how Billy is going to treat this. Unless he's really.
How could they even put this guy in a main event? Like you want viewers, you want new people to come in. Like, I'm cool with him being in a tag team title match, but there's no reason Trevor. Like, I'm sure he's a nice guy. There's just no reason he should be fighting for a heavyweight championship.
He's not.
Like, come on, dude.
I'm not real sure.
Nick Aldis has a tremendous look. Like, I don't know how people feel about him. I'm really not sure how the rest of our guys feel about him, but he's got a good look. I don't think he's bad. He can talk on the mic. Like, there's no reason Murdoch should be fighting him.
He's a little arrogant. That's the only thing I didn't care for him in interviews.
But is that his act? Is that his act though?
No, this was a shoot, like just personality interview, like shoot interview. I've heard him a couple times. I just didn't like how I guess I don't have any beef with him, but like there's a reason like WWE would not touch him. Apparently he pissed off Bruce Pritchard or something like really bad. I'm not real sure the whole story on it though. Like, he's a hell of a wrestler. I think he's only gotten better since his TNA run. I really do. But the guy's had this title for a while now, probably over 2 years when he lost. Because I think he lost it to Cody, and then he won it back from Cody. So I don't know.
Right. We're spending too much time on this.
Yeah, we are. I just wanted to bring that up because Empower was going on. I know Deonna Purrazzo's facing Melina for the Impact title. So, okay, I figured that would happen, but yeah, there's no way I was ordering this pay-per-view though.
She still got it though. She could still get under those ropes.
Oh yeah. It was nice to see her on Impact for a while, and Emergence. She was on Emergence too. So All right. Next. So let's talk the big juicy stuff, because I think this is the big juicy stuff right here. So
Yeah.
the Impact potential
Mhm.
signings that could be happening. So there was a recording of a video of Scott D'Amore, Jade Chung. I think that's Josh Alexander's wife. She used to be a wrestler at some point, but I don't. Josh Alexander was at the game, and then the guy who does the he's on before the Impact. He does like the Iceman news or something.
Iceman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Iceman was there. They were at the Toronto Blue Jays game.
Well, now we know why that guy has a job.
What does that guy do exactly? He must like work in the office. I actually think the guy's got a kind of an awesome.
I think he jerks Scott D'Amore's.
He probably does
in like bathroom breaks.
But he reminds me of like a early 90s like hotline, almost like a Mean Gene in a sense, but not like as good as Mean Gene by any means.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that vibe for me though. But anyways,
I think it's Scott D'Amore trying to give his buddy a job. Anywho,
kind of like Jericho and Luther, but yeah. Scott D'Amore
not as embarrassing, but yeah.
Scott D'Amore said that Buddy Murphy is going to debut on Impact. I thought that's what he said, and then he said, "While we're on the Braun for Glory." So he name dropped Buddy Murphy and he name dropped Braun Strowman. So let's start with these two. Do you want to go first, or you want me to?
No, you go.
Okay.
This is your company.
It is my company. You damn right it is. Yep. You damn straight, RVE. You damn straight, AEW.
You deserve first dibs on this.
Okay. We'll start with Buddy Murphy. I actually think this guy has transformed himself into a really solid wrestler. He was like Seth Rollins' lackey, but this guy's like really improved. Like you look at this guy's look, and he kind of looks like he has the complete package. His promo skills aren't bad. I don't know did you watch his videos? He like made these like a lot of these wrestlers who have been released from WWE have made these like hype videos about them getting released or like when their 90 days are up. But his is really freaking good. Like he's released from like a prison and
I saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But no, I honestly think this guy, I honestly think he has a lot of potential and a lot of untapped potential that we really didn't see in WWE. I don't know if it's like a Drew McIntyre situation, but I honestly don't think it could be far off. I think this guy is money. And there was also reports that AEW was interested in him, but from some of the dirt sheets were saying that he's getting more indie dates with Impact. So that was like more appealing to him. So if they land Buddy Murphy, I think that would be a really nice appetizer. Braun Strowman, though, and we'll go to Braun now. I think Braun, if Impact gets Braun Strowman, I think it's just an awesome signing. He is like probably one of the best big man to hit wrestling in, I would darn say, since, gosh, he's bigger than Matt Morgan, way bigger than Matt Morgan. He's a world champion. He's been at the top of the card at WrestleMania. Maybe since Kane? I don't think that's too big of a stretch. Honestly, don't. I mean, I can't think of many big men that are like have had the impact like Braun Strowman. I think this guy, if Impact lands him, I think they got a legit star, and I think they have a legit main eventer. I'm all on board with Braun Strowman. This guy is a total beast, and he actually is. I don't know if he's. I believe he has a house around here. I know his dad was like a softball legend. I'm a big softball player, so his dad was like a softball legend, and it would be freaking amazing to see Braun so in Impact. All right, I'm gonna let you give your take on these two guys, and then we'll talk about the as I call it, the dessert. We got the appetizer, we got the main course, and we might have the dessert. So, what's your thoughts? Yeah.
Before I mention that, I just hopped on Twitter and I do see Awesome Kong trending. So I hit it, and seeing her hug Gail Kim in tears, pretty emotional.
Yeah, those two. I mean, those two.
She's actually crying. You should check this out.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty. Looks pretty.
I'm definitely gonna check that. I might watch that show tomorrow. Actually, I might watch the matches I want to see.
Kind of feel
just the matches I want to see.
She could have been really a big star in wrestling because she's got that dominant women's capability. Obviously, her look and.
Hey, just remember this, and I know I'm gonna get some heat from this, but she was watched by 1.4 million viewers, more than any wrestler in AEW. So. I just want you to mention that she was watched by quite a few people. She was also on WWE, so she had I honestly think she had a good career, though. I really do. Like, there's not much more she could have done.
Yeah, I guess aside from being in WWE.
But, yeah, and having a successful run in WWE, but
yeah,
honestly,
which Vince would have loved her. So
yeah, he didn't though. He never brought her back. Yeah, go ahead. We're getting way off topic here.
Let me get to this real quick. So,
I want your thoughts because I don't know. Sometimes you trend to like Impact at times, and then other times you're just completely shitting on it. So this should be good.
I'm a fair guy. I call it like it is.
Right.
So I actually do agree with you on this one. And first of all, Braun Strowman speaks for himself. There's nothing to say. I mean, who wouldn't want to sign Braun Strowman? And why? And if you don't, why the fuck wouldn't you want to?
I know.
I think he speaks for itself. I don't even really need my comments on that. Like, if you don't want Braun Strowman on your roster, then you're an idiot. Like, there's no reason not to like that guy. But as far as Buddy Murphy goes, I mean, I've seen this guy around for years. I've seen him in WWE, and to see what he turned himself into, the guy's built. He's not like Adam Cole. I mean, the guy's got muscle. He's got a good look.
He's like, 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", 6'4"?
First of all, I think he needs to change his name. I don't think his name could be Buddy if he comes in.
Right.
That name's got to go. He can't. It's such like a cruiserweighty, average
not
guy
a good name.
It's not a good name. So I think he needs to repackage himself to a grown man name, and maybe like take his career from when Jeff Hardy came over from WWE to TNA and became a heavyweight and became a champion.
Yeah,
Buddy Murphy could do something like that. Maybe he can turn himself from, because wasn't he a cruiserweight? I believe he was in the cruiserweight division, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. I know he was in a tag team with Wesley Blake and Murphy. Was it Blake and Murphy? Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
but
they were tag team champs. But
cruiserweight at some point. I
think you're right.
He's too big to be just a cruiserweight right now. So I think he should repackage himself, change his name, and make a debut in this company and kick some ass. But it's got some more. Doesn't give me high hopes for that.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy. I mean, looks like he's chiseled out of stone, man.
Yeah, he looks great. Well,
I was actually wrong about him, by the way.
I think you're doing Braun Strowman a disservice, an injustice by not including him with the next guy you're about to talk about. It should be talked about together because there's an argument that Braun Strowman's a bigger name.
There is. There's a big argument here. But before I touch on that, Buddy Murphy is actually 5'11", 213.
What?
Yeah, I know. He looks way bigger.
He only weighs 213 pounds, and he's only 5 foot.
He's 5'11", so he's
dude. I think I could stand toe to toe with him.
Possibly, I know, but he looked like those promo videos make him look like he's freaking huge. He's a lot. Adam Cole's 5'6" though, so that's.
I think if I worked out for like 6 months, I think I could go toe to toe with him.
5'8",
If I
maybe.
stopped eating like donuts, like I think I'd have a shot.
dude is freaking ripped, man. He's a guy though that like I think you could make it believable to put him in the heavyweight division.
I agree. I agree.
I
And
mean, when we saw him with Seth,
we know they need it. So
yes. Okay. All right. This report like really shocked me, but
yeah.
And I may have read this wrong, but okay. So Dave Meltzer and who's the other guy? Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're claiming that Impact Wrestling is going hard at Bray freaking Wyatt, the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting all their eggs in this basket.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to get Bray Wyatt. Dave Meltzer's reporting. You gotta take this with grains of salt, though. He said that some people in the office think it's a done deal, and Alvarez basically said. Brian Alvarez, I think his name is. Brian Alvarez said that if he thought Bray was going to AEW, he was like 99% sure that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan would go to AEW. He is not putting that figure on Bray Wyatt to go to AEW. And there's so from just hearing that Dave Meltzer is saying that people in Impact's office believe that Bray Wyatt will sign with them and that I think Dave Meltzer said he said that these higher ups they said it's a done deal. So you have the potential to add Murphy, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt. Like, if you scored all three of those guys and AEW didn't make an attempt or hasn't, I think it's a huge, huge win for Impact. Can you imagine Bray Wyatt Impact if he got the keys, like, to do whatever he wants? Like, just imagine, like, look what he did in WWE, where it's very heavily censored and, you got to run through quite a few people, your ideas. Him without the gloves, like, this could be another Matt Hardy situation where they did the broken gimmick to almost 500,000 viewers on a smaller channel. I think we could maybe possibly see that. I think this is huge. I think Impact's main event scene, if they got those guys, well, at least Bray and Braun, I think would look pretty solid. I want your opinion, like what you're thinking here.
So I'm gonna give a thought here, and it doesn't really have to do with Bray Wyatt per se, but obviously signing Bray Wyatt would be, I mean, come on, it's just like signing Braun Strowman. Why wouldn't you want this guy, especially to Impact? Like, you're gonna have viewers tune in for. Maybe Bray Wyatt more than Braun Strowman. I think maybe at this point, I think you're gonna have people at least tune in to see these guys. So my thing is, though, you cannot debut these guys until you get out of that arena with 50 people in it. You can't. They cannot be debuted in wherever they're filming right now. I don't know what, Nashville, I think.
Yeah, Skyway Studios.
Okay, they need to get the hell out of there. These guys cannot make a debut in front of 100 people.
No,
it can't work.
I
can't
agree.
work. You need a pop. You need an arena with thousands of people in it.
Yeah,
few thousand. You can't do anything until
Yeah.
they move out of that arena.
Well, yeah, at least the size of the Impact Zone, at least.
That arena is a joke, and they're better off having no fans than 100.
Yeah,
because it's more, when you have no fans, you expect to hear nothing. When you have even 100 fans there and you still hear nothing, now you have a problem, because they're not reacting. Modern fans don't react to what they're supposed to react to, and these guys, when I've been watching Impact recently, they're just, the reaction when I watch the highlights on Twitter, the reaction to guys running in and coming out is just not what it should be, because there's only 100 people there, and if you don't have 20 people making a noise for the rest of the people to follow, then you got nothing.
Yeah, they kind of go in spurts. Like, I've heard some good reactions. I mean, there's been some good stuff, but then there's also been a lot of lull and dead periods. So, well, Impact's they're having Bound for Glory in Las Vegas. I don't know if the arena has been confirmed, There's been some reports that have said that it's going back to Sam's Town, which they've been there in the past for tapings. I hope it's not Sam's Town. Sam's Town's not the biggest, but I think it does it holds a lot more than Skyway Studios. That I do know. But
anything does.
They should be shooting at least for an arena, like a mid-size arena, like a college arena or something. You know what I mean?
The problem is if you're not going to advertise Strowman and Bray Wyatt, you're not going to sell tickets, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think that you if you want them as a surprise, how could you sell? I don't know.
How do you bring them in? How do you debut them to get the intrigue? You're going to have to at least give some hint.
Maybe you take a note out of AEW's playbook and do what they did with CM Punk. We all knew he was going to be there, but they didn't say for sure.
No, they never said for sure. That's possibly what Impact could do. How big of a home run would this be if they got both of those guys? Though?
I think maybe you just announce them both. If it's true, I think you just announce them both, and because then you're going to get buys. You're talking about pay-per-view. You need buys. You need to sell tickets. Announce them both.
You could do that with Braun. You could do that with Braun, but how do you do that with Bray? He's a mysterious, dude. His gimmick is. We don't know what his gimmick's going to be.
We don't need to know when he's going to come out or what he's going to do.
Yeah, like Braun can do basically the same stuff. He's just a huge guy that can just wreck everyone. But Bray, on the other hand, you have to treat him differently. And I don't know how you do that. Like, it would be so awesome right now. And if Impact was smart, it was if they would have like a NWO type stable where they just run roughshod.
You just
and then you bring out a
mouth. Hurls, you just took it out of my mouth.
I know, man.
Do you know what I was just about to say? I was just going to say that the three of them, Bray Wyatt, Strowman, and Buddy Murphy, should come in, the three of them, and Omega should beat Christian Cage, and the Goof Brothers should help, and whatever, the Young Bucks, whatever.
Yes.
And those three should come out and beat the living shit out of Omega and all of them. Leave them on the ground, and the show should go off the air with the three of them standing tall.
That would be freaking amazing. Oh, man, with like a new crazy mask or something with Bray Wyatt, that would be insane.
And he could be the leader, fine, whatever. Or there could be no leader. I don't care, because the three of them could be equal, whatever. But you got to do something interesting, man. Bring me back. Like, do something.
Like, booking aside, Impact has a ton of big guys. Like, this is really, if they get these guys, this is truly where the big boys play, besides WWE. Like, look, I mean, you got Doreen, you got Fulton, you got Gallows.
No, you don't have Fulton.
He's there. I said booking aside.
They've made such a fool out of this guy.
Well, yeah, they need to repackage Fulton. What about you? You could repackage Fulton. I know a quick fix.
Problem is he's packaged properly. He just been booked horrifically.
Well, I think he could turn on Ace and just go insane again, and then maybe even be like a follower to Bray or Braun or something. I don't know how you bring in Braun. I think so. Would you bring in both of these guys in as faces, as good guys? Or are you gonna?
I think that Braun Strowman needs to be a good guy at this point.
Yeah, they need a face.
I think you do. I think you bring them both in, or bring them in like an NWO type. We're going to cheer them, but they're the bad guys.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah. I mean, part of me thinks Bray and Braun have to be clean because they're going to be cheered no matter what.
Yeah, they're going to be really. Yeah, they're going to be really. Wow. What do you think the percentage is that you like? Give me a percentage of Buddy Murphy, Bray, and Braun.
When is
of
Bound
how
for
much?
Glory? October.
Bound for Glory is October 17th. It's on a Saturday.
I would probably say Buddy and Braun, I think, are like 80, 90%. I think they're both going to come.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Bray's 50-50.
I think with Braun, I think he's got to guarantee that he's going to be the top guy. I really do. I think he's excited to be the face. Like, I think Impact is looking for a guy. They don't really have one. Like, Eddie Edwards is like the closest guy you could think of. Like, and Rich Swann's, he got his, He's not the face though.
I think the
yeah,
NWO type angle is the way to go. They're not going to do
and
it.
that's with the Elite, but yeah,
They're not going to do it, but I think that's the way to go. And to immediately put, not that Braun and Bray need putting over, but immediately put these three guys over, and that they are a force to be reckoned with, and they just kick the Elite's ass. Who, I mean, me and you could beat them up, but you know,
I don't know. Gallows is a big guy.
Gallows aside and Anderson aside, I think we could take the Young Bucks in a shoot. And
Yeah, I think we could.
Omega, I think we could take him too. I'm going to be honest. I think he's a giant. I think he's a huge pussy.
Oh wow.
Did you? Okay, you were. Oh man, I can't wait to get.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Oh man.
I'm just really thinking about this fantasy booking of Bray and like how big of a fail do you think that would be if AEW didn't get? Well, they're not going to get Braun. I mean, clearly, I don't think they're getting Braun.
I don't think they want Braun. First of all, and I don't think it'd be that big of a fail because they have too many fucking guys already.
Yeah, Braun would not fit in AEW. I agree. I think he'd get lost in the shuffle.
Let Impact take these three guys, but they better fucking do something with them.
Yeah, well, I think they would. I think Buddy Murphy would get a solid. I mean, he can be X Division tag team. You could build them up even possibly to heavyweight, but I think he needs more building. So I think he's gonna have to start, lower on the card. But I think Braun and Bray, they're instant main eventers, the most credible main eventers that Impact has. I mean, obviously we'll get into Moose. He's a main eventer too. This booking aside. Here's the thing, though. If these two guys come in, I don't think Moose has ever win that title.
I don't.
Maybe he wouldn't anyway.
I don't think he was going to either way.
Yeah.
He's high on drugs or something, man. I don't know what he's thinking.
They're also building up Josh Alexander quite a bit, so that's.
Well, I think we know why based on that video of the.
Well, he deserves it though. I got no problem with that. You also got Sami Callihan. Can you imagine a Bray Wyatt, Sami Callihan promo? I think that would be kind of cool.
Kind of sick of Sami.
Yeah, but maybe like somebody like Bray would bring out even a different side of Sami. I don't know. Like clearly that's a feud you have to do.
They need fresh faces. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So I just think like these two, like I think Braun and Bray are really good friends. So clearly Braun can just. I honestly think if he's going to Impact, I think Braun can bring Bray over and he can sway him. And you know what I mean? Those guys are good friends. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I do think I'm pretty excited that Impact is going to get finally a possibly two big stars. I mean, when they had the 2010, when they brought out like Mr. Anderson and Jeff Hardy on the same night, I think that's what this is kind of comparable to, but possibly even on a bigger scale. What
about 10-10-10? They're coming.
Yeah, that didn't live up to what it should have been.
But it did.
You liked 10-10-10 with Immortal?
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay, but it was never. I love Jeff Hardy as a bad guy. Actually, I thought that actually worked out pretty well.
You know what's funny is, I went to the Hard Rock near me. There's a Hard Rock over here. You know the Hard Rock, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that pay-per-view actually was in Florida too. I forgot about that.
So there's a casino over here, the Hard Rock. Whatever, they have shows here occasionally, and they had a show maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. It was Hogan and Bischoff and Ric Flair, the three of them doing a Q&A at the Hard Rock. And my uncle got comp tickets, so I went. And I had to be the only fool who asked a legitimate question in the Q&A line. And to the point where it was almost embarrassing because everybody was at, oh, what's your favorite city to wrestle in? Where do you get food when you go to New York? Like the stupidest questions. Meanwhile, I'm there and I'm thinking, these guys are just fresh out of TNA, fresh out of Impact. I was very interested to know. I asked them, when they turned Jeff Hardy heel that night, were they trying to create like a new NWO? Was it like trying when Hogan turned, when Hogan made his
Yes.
NWO debut,
Yes.
were they trying to make a splash and take a guy who's never been dirty and turn him heel in Jeff Hardy and kind of try to recreate the NWO?
Right.
So, I mean, to a wrestling fan, it's an interesting question, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Very
I asked
good.
that, and everyone in the crowd was like, "Huh?" Like they had no clue what the fuck I was talking about.
Oh my.
Anyway,
Wow.
Bischoff took the question and said, "No, it had nothing to do with that. We just tried something and it didn't work out."
Oh, okay. Okay.
Kind of made
So
me
they
feel
kind
like
of
a
admit.
fool, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that that's what they were going for, even though he won't admit it, because Hardy turned out to wasn't the right time to do it with him.
Yeah, because he
But
was all
yeah,
messed up. I thought it
but
actually worked out though for
I
a
think
while.
they really
Yeah.
took a clean guy and tried to do what they did with Hogan.
Yeah.
But it was a cool show. It was interesting, and glad I got to shake all their hands after the show. So that was cool.
For sure.
yeah, but so I just hope let's wrap this up. But I just hope they do something interesting with these three guys if they bring them in, and not just make them more guys on the show like they
Yeah.
with the Good Brothers.
Yeah, I hope they keep some mystique to them. I think they kind of have to with Bray. I mean, I think his character, like at least he knows, like, yeah, I gotta be booked a certain way for this to work. So, yeah, I don't know. So maybe they debut as a tag team, even. Who knows? I don't know. All right. Okay. So as far as news goes, I think we've kind of covered everything that we've wanted to talk about. So, is there any other things you want to talk about with the news?
News wise, I don't think so.
Okay. Do you want to go to SummerSlam next? Okay.
Yeah, I think we should go to SummerSlam.
All right. I'm actually gonna let you kind of take the reins here because
we can just
because we both seen SummerSlam. This is like my first WWE show I've seen in a while, actually, probably since the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So
we could just run through it real quick.
Yeah.
Because I really the main thing here is I want to talk AEW with you.
Yes.
So let's run
but
through
no,
this
definitely deserves to be discussed though, because there were some things I actually enjoyed about this show.
Okay, so let's start with the first match, because there was something. You know what? Let me see something real quick before I start it.
Sure.
What was the dumbest thing on this show? Let's see if we agree.
Dumbest thing. Oh, it was the women's match with. It was supposed to be Sasha Banks and.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
What's her name? Who's the one with the long ponytail? What's her name?
Alexa,
like the girl who does the hair whip with her hair. Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Yeah. I honestly think that was probably the worst booking decision with Becky Lynch coming back.
Let me narrow that down a little bit. That question. What was the stupidest thing on the show that didn't involve a match?
Okay, so there were
the
guys I watched it with, they're new to, like, we watched it. So I just want to give a disclaimer here so you kind of know my situation. We watched it the day after at my friend's house, and he fast forwarded through some segments. He did.
Okay.
So we missed a lot of just the John Morrison stuff. I think there was Miz. Okay.
That was it. That was the dumbest thing I've seen in wrestling in probably about 15 years. That was the stupidest.
Can you just give like a very brief recap?
You know what? Let's go through the show and I'll get to it when it hits that moment.
Okay,
so let's start with the first match. Big E defeated Baron Corbin.
We skipped that one.
Okay.
Don't know why.
It's actually a decent match because they're both decent. I happen to like Baron Corbin's current gimmick of being a broke guy.
Yeah.
It's actually a decent, at least it's a gimmick.
Yes.
So I don't like Big E. Not a fan. Doesn't do anything for me.
Nah, he's kind of plain. I liked him. Is it weird to say that the most time I ever liked him was when he was with Dolph Ziggler? It was like the only time I ever liked him. I don't know why. I don't care for the New Day. Like, I understand they got over organically, and I give them a lot of props. But for whatever reason, I liked him as Dolph Ziggler's enforcer. I don't know why, but
All right. Anyway, let's get to the next match. So Big E won that match. And I guess he kept his Money in the Bank, which he
Okay.
has, which is stupid. All right, then you got RK Bro.
Okay. This is where we started. This is the match that we started off.
Fighting for the titles against AJ Styles and that motherfucking giant.
The guy that, he's huge, but he doesn't get in. Honestly, the comment I made during watching this match was almost reminds me of Pac-Man Jones. Because he doesn't get in the ring and doesn't do anything. He lets AJ Styles do all the work.
Were you guys drinking while you were watching this show?
We were not. These guys don't really drink too much. Yeah, so I just had some Mountain Dews.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you like the result of this match, and what do you think of Riddle? I want to know.
You know what? They weren't bad. I don't mind Riddle and Orton. They're kind of grooming Riddle to be like, they do see high stuff with it, like, no pun intended, but they actually are pretty high on this guy. So.
Yeah, but they book him as a joke.
He kind of is.
If you watch their segments on Raw, he's not to be taken seriously. He sucks up to Randy Orton, like just wants to be partners with him.
Yes. Like this reminds me of Goldust and Booker T a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's Goldust in this scenario.
Yeah.
That's, you know what? That's exactly what it is. And for some reason, I like it. I think it's amusing. And I don't mind
it's not bad. It's not bad.
I have a love for AJ Styles though, so anytime he's in a match, I root for him. But
yes.
But I do not mind RK Bro as a tag team at all.
Yeah, I honestly thought this kind of like refreshes Randy Orton in a way.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the third match. This match was the second shortest match on the card. Alexa Bliss defeated Eva Marie, who I believe Sasha Banks was supposed to be in this match. No?
Yes, she was. No, this was who? This was Eva Marie versus who?
Oh, yes. No, you're right. My bad. So Alexa Bliss beat Eva Marie. Eva Marie is with a woman named Dewdrop on her side.
Yeah, that's a very strange.
I got to admit, I didn't watch, and
this was absolutely this was awful. Alexa Bliss, you can't run Bray Wyatt's gimmick without freaking Bray Wyatt. Like it just doesn't work.
There's something about Alexa Bliss that I think she's adorable. Like I really
she's very
her.
Adorable, but that's the problem. Like I don't really take her. She can kind of do the crazy smiles, but there's other people who do this gimmick better than her. So,
well, not only that, you're right. You can't hand someone a gimmick who left and just give the gimmick to.
Well, I also thought it was stupid that she messed around with the doll, and we never really got a payoff from that. I know the doll can do some weird things from once in a while. So I thought the doll was going to do something, but really it was just made Alexa Bliss mad, and she got the win.
How about the manager called Dewdrop? Is that a serious name?
Nah, I don't get that.
What is
Dewdrop?
this?
What the frick? I don't know. I honestly do not know.
Who thought of that and thought that was a good name for this girl?
It doesn't make sense. What does that? What is a Dewdrop?
You are burying her. I don't care what it is. You're burying her immediately because that's a clowny name.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
That's
Next, we had Damian Priest for Sheamus.
We
United States Championship.
We skipped this match. We did not watch it. So none of us like Damian Priest, so
yeah, well, he won and he's the champ now, and I don't have any thoughts on that match.
That's crazy to me.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
We got the tag match next: the Usos versus the Mysterios. I think we knew who was going
to
win this match.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy this match?
I don't really like the Usos. I don't.
So tell me if you agree with this. Here's my thoughts. I think Rey Mysterio carried this entire match.
Yes, and I agree.
The Usos are the Young Bucks. All they do is fucking kick.
Yes, I agree.
The entire match, they're throwing super kicks.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed. I think Dominic's not boring.
Damn, I just swallowed a fly. What a tough break. This match lasted 11 minutes, and when I watched this match, I thought it was 2-on-1. I never even saw Mysterio's son in the ring. It was
He
the
did a
Usos
couple
versus Ray.
things. Yeah, Ray, dude, Ray is pretty talented. I wish he would.
He still
I
got
don't
it.
know. He does. He
Certainly
really
still
does.
has it.
He really does. I mean, with all those surgeries he's had,
I'm gonna say
he's
I
looking
don't
good.
know. I don't understand Vince or whoever's booking the show obsession with the Usos. I just don't see it. I
They
didn't see
love
it.
the Usos. They've never been that good though. I don't know why they love them. They love them. I don't get it. They just talk like they're. I don't even know. Like Rikishi, they're Rikishi's sons, but Rikishi had a character. He had charisma. These guys, I don't. They're talented, but you're right. They're very similar to the Young Bucks. They do the same crap. Mysterio needs to get rid of that mohawk.
They just have a better look than the Young Bucks.
They do. They're bigger. They're bigger.
Okay, let's get to the women's SmackDown Championship match. Becky Lynch, who made her debut or return, taking on Bianca Ponytail Belair.
But who came out? There was a who's the no, wasn't it a almost superhero? Yeah, she was in there. No. I'm skipping a match. What am I doing here?
That's the next women's match.
No, who was out before Becky Lynch though?
I'm not sure. I tuned in when Becky Lynch made her entrance. So
because somebody came out and I have a terrible memory getting my older age now. I'm only in my 30s, but yeah, no. Somebody came out and like was doing a promo, and then Becky Lynch basically took that person out.
Oh.
It's gonna kill me to not know who that is, but
I mean, I could find out if it's
I mean, don't waste your bandwidth or whatever.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you really want to, that's fine. Yeah, we can wait.
I don't think it'll take that long. Let's see here. The Usos, Becky Lynch, Carmella.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
So Carmella comes out.
Doesn't take that long at all.
Yeah, and Becky Lynch basically takes her out, and then just says that she'll wrestle Bianca Belair, and then.
So give me your quick thoughts on her squashing her.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah,
it was awful. I get you want to, Becky Lynch comes back. She's one of the most over women in wrestling today, but come on, you can't even at least do a match. You're just gonna have her do like a rock bottom, and that was it.
I was actually shocked, and the only thing that makes sense is that Becky Lynch is not ready to wrestle a full match yet.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Yes,
they did this because CM Punk debuted a couple days before, the day before this.
Yes, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that just hot-shotting it. Yeah, no, you're probably right. She probably needs some time to like get the ring rust off. Yeah. But still, like, just have her come out. Don't have a match then, or have the match with Carmella. Reason to even
have the match. Yeah, you're right. Have her beat Carmella.
Carmella.
Beat Carmella. Yeah.
And then
there's no need to bury this girl. There's no need.
Right. You don't need to hotshot a title. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we know Impact's been doing that for years.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately.
All right, let's get to Drew McIntyre against Jinder Mahal. There's no way you watched this match.
I think we did. It wasn't very good though.
It was a 4-minute match, according to this.
Yeah, it
wasn't very good. I didn't watch this match.
I honestly, a lot of the matches, I'm surprised, were not very long. They weren't very good either. Some of them were okay, but yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Here's a match I want to talk about. So here's the women's Raw match. Charlotte Flair defeated the Superhero Girl and Rhea Ripley. What did you think of this match? I'm not a women's guy, but I want to know what you thought of it.
No, I liked it. Yeah. I think
they're
right. I actually don't mind. I think Charlotte Flair is one of the best women's wrestler today. I pay attention when she wrestles.
I don't watch women's wrestling, and I don't watch WWE. So I got to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen I don't think I've ever sat and watched Charlotte Flair wrestle.
Oh wow!
I don't think I ever have. Yeah.
So you didn't like the match, or you did like the match?
No. I actually thought it was a great match.
Yeah, I do too. I honestly think. Yeah. Character wise, that almost superhero is a really stupid gimmick. But it made all three women stand out.
So
I could tell these were. Yeah.
To me, this match wouldn't have been as good without her in it. And
I agree.
and I'll tell you why, because Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley going one-on-one, those are two, I guess, giants, you could say, two big-time
Yes.
women's wrestlers. And it made sense to have the third person in the match so that they can both beat the shit out of her at different times. And then having her have those moments where, oh, wait, she might get a cheap pin on one of them. And she did her stupid fucking head, where she, what do you call it? I can't remember the move. But there was a couple of times where you thought she'd get a quick, a pin. She had a couple near falls, the superhero girl.
Yep.
But Charlotte and Rhea, I don't like women's wrestling, and they both impressed the hell out of me.
Dude, Charlotte's. Oh, I like
jumped,
Charlotte.
She jumped off
Yeah.
the top rope and did like some spinning
Yes.
type of fucking. I don't even know what you call it. I'm not great with the names of moves, but she did this thing off the top rope that it wasn't one of those where, oh, let's just stand here and catch her. She like did some kind of flippy fucking spinning in midair type of thing. It was very impressive.
Honestly, Charlotte is the best women's wrestler in the world.
But
There's
Rhea
no question.
was good too.
I know fans are mad at her, but still.
Listen, if you take Charlotte Flair and were you impressed with Rhea Ripley? I mean, I thought she was good too.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. I have no problem with her, but I was more impressed with ASH.
Really?
Yeah, I thought she added a different dynamic to that match, and I paid attention to this stupid gimmick.
You take these three and you compare them to Chris Statlander and
save it. Okay, we're gonna get there.
My bad.
We are gonna get there. Yeah.
All right, my bad.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's get to the next match. So I enjoyed this match quite a bit for a women's match. Quite a bit.
Yes.
Okay. And I was actually watching it and didn't change the channel. Or the website. All right. Then you got Edge and Seth Rollins. Did you watch this match?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
I did.
Wow. How could you not?
I thought it was actually good. I'm not a huge Seth Rollins fan, but the feud I actually could get behind because I do view Seth Rollins like a Edge ripoff.
Yeah,
that's kind of what this is. So that's how I do look at Seth Rollins. They're very similar. Him and Edge are very similar. No, I did. I thought they built this feud up pretty well with the Brood stuff. I love that Edge came out to the Brood music. He came up through the fire. I thought that was awesome.
I don't like that it cost Gangrel a job, but
we should have probably mentioned that. Well, you did see that AEW did pay him though, which was probably a nice thing to do. And I blame WWE for not getting Gangrel into this though. I think that was kind of stupid to not use him.
That doesn't make sense, but maybe it's the fact that he was ready to work for AEW. I don't know.
That could be.
Maybe they fucked him completely on purpose. I don't know.
See, but Gangrel is going to be used with Christian. Is what I've heard.
They should have done it anyway.
Yeah, and I honestly I was kind of pissed off that I didn't get to see Gangrel on Wednesday. So there's another reason I was mad about that. But
so to me that was a very.
It was a good match. It was good feud, good match. Edge looked pretty damn good. Yeah,
he did. His build is not the same as it used to be, but he could certainly still wrestle. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get to my match. Goldberg taking on
Bobby Lashley.
Your guy, Bobby Lashley.
Yes.
So go ahead. What did you think of this match? If you want to call it that.
I liked it. I couldn't believe it. I was expecting something really a lot worse. Goldberg fucking worked a match.
If you were setting an over-under in this match for time limit, what would it have been at?
Gosh, I was thinking 2, 3, 4 minutes at most.
I would say I would say 3. 3 would be fair. This match went over 7 minutes.
Yep.
Which was just Goldberg taking bumps. I guess you could call them.
Can I say this was Goldberg's best WWE match?
I don't disagree.
In his second run?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
There was heat. There was storyline. There was a storyline. There was drama.
I was saying this to RVE in the chat all week.
Building
up through the weeks that they built this angle really well. Like they didn't just throw this match together like they normally do with Goldberg. They actually involved his son. They built an angle. They made Lashley the bad guy, even though the crowd doesn't know how to cheer for the good guy and boo the bad guy.
Yeah.
But that's whatever.
There was actually some drama into this.
Yes,
like you felt
there was
it.
Drama.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The only one thing I loved how Lashley was working on his leg. I thought that was awesome. Yeah. Lashley looks like a total beast right now, finally in WWE. I mean, we've seen that in TNA. He looked like a beast, but finally he's looking like a beast in WWE. The only thing I didn't like was MVP's. I felt like WWE kind of undersold the Sun part where he flips, he jumps on his back and then Lashley just flips him over. I thought they should have done more with that. And then MVP's like, I didn't like how MVP's like, oh, I didn't know. Any man, like, I felt like MVP wasn't sincere. Like, he didn't sound sincere there.
So it was fake. It was clearly fake.
Yeah, he should have. The announcer should have sold it more.
Here's what they should have done, though.
Yeah.
Goldberg's son should have escorted him to the ring. Because the problem is when Goldberg's son jumped over the ropes, MVP had to get on the mic to say that because nobody knew who the fuck jumped in the ring. Yeah. They didn't know who it was. You had a stadium, a sold out stadium of how many people? 40, 50,000?
They had like 45,000 people.
Okay. So how many of them knew that was Goldberg's son that jumped over the ropes? Probably like 10. So the thing is that he should have been introduced when Goldberg came to the ring. He should have been.
Right. I think that would have got more heat because they would have known.
So MVP had to get on the mic and be like, "Oh, everybody, that was Goldberg's son."
But that was a minor complaint because I really did. I honestly felt like this was Goldberg. Like he actually worked the match, and I enjoyed it. That was good.
Also, like to me, when you have to actually start thinking, "Hey, is this guy really hurt?" That's when I say, "Okay, this is a good sell job." And it reached the point where I thought, and maybe it's because it was Goldberg, and you never know when he's actually legit hurt or when he's not. So maybe it had to do with him, but I thought he did a tremendous job selling it, and I really wasn't sure if he was hurt or not.
Yeah. No, I exactly. He did do a very good job, and it did everything it needed to do. It checked all the boxes that you'd want. So I thought it was awesome. Yeah. It did. I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I'm not a WWE fan by any means, but this match impressed me.
I just thought of a good question for you at the end of this show. After your hot corner, I'm gonna ask you.
Okay. I got a pretty good hot corner.
All right. Last match now. The big one. Roman Reigns, John Cena. Let's go. What'd you think?
It was fine. It was fine. Yeah, it was a good back and forth.
Did you ever think John Cena was going to win this match at any point?
No, I don't think so. It didn't have the same drama effect as the previous one, but yeah, it was good between these two. I mean, Roman. I'll say this: they do have an intriguing storyline with Brock Lesnar coming back. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we could touch on that. So a couple things. So Brock comes back, which I also think is due in part to CM Punk debuting in AEW.
Yeah.
Brock comes back with his crazy looking fucking hair.
Yes.
Does that matter? Like, did you say, oh shit, Brock's like, did it do anything for you?
No, not really.
No,
I mean, I don't think Brock's a likable guy to go face though. He was face in WWE for a little bit, but he's not a full-time wrestler anymore. I don't know if anybody's going to really cheer for him. But the feud, or the angle, because Heyman has been managing Roman. I guess that's already set up. I don't necessarily
think that Brock's not like Brock's a clean guy. I think they're just they both may just be guys. Like,
could be.
Clearly Roman's a heel, we know that,
but I also read a report that they are planning to go face with Brock Lesnar. So
okay.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Which could be intriguing. He's not been a face in how long? Probably since 2004.
So what do you give this show overall from a 1 to 10? Let's say.
I had very low expectations, and I actually give it probably there's still a lot of WWE crap in there. Don't get me wrong, but I would say a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay.
But you know what segment I did actually like, and I I don't watch WWE Weekly, but I actually like Nakamura with the guitar player, and then
That was
Pat
very
McAfee
cool.
freaking
Yeah.
selling it, like he jumps on the table and starts dancing.
That was very
cool. I enjoy.
So-
I am a huge Pat McAfee fan, by the way.
How could
I
you
do
not
like
be?
this guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all on board.
He brings a new passion that hasn't been seen in a while.
Yep,
But
I agree.
almost a Don West type of passion.
Yeah, he does get into these matches like big time.
So I glossed, my bad. I did leave one thing out that I kept wanting to mention. The Morrison Miz angle. Good Lord. If I paid for this, I would have asked for a refund in this segment. So Miz and Morrison come out and start with their whole shtick. I don't know, talking shit to the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Then you have, I always forget his name, Austin Creed. What's his name in
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. Okay. You still think of him as Consequences Creed?
Nah, I think for me at least, he shed that part of his career.
Okay. So he comes out with a fucking water gun. A fucking water gun, dude.
Yeah.
He's holding a water gun. There's a fucking bag on his back with water in it and a gun that the water's going through.
Yeah.
He comes out and you got Miz and Morrison begging him not to shoot them with it. Bro, it's water.
Oh my
Out of
gosh.
a gun, like a pool fight. So he
Oh,
sprays
no.
them, not like when the blood landed on Rollins and it was powerful.
Yes.
He sprays them with a water pistol, and they go flying out of the ring and run away. What?
Do you think John Morrison is regretting going back to WWE? Because he's been booked like shit since he's been back.
Here's the thing: what I say about these guys who get booked like shit, I think they're getting paid, and it's
they
fake.
are definitely getting paid.
And I think that
That's
know what they're doing going into this. And I hate this has become a big pet peeve of mine, is when people say this guy deserves better, because they're being paid. Like, this is a job. Like,
yeah,
like there's no reason nobody deserves better than anyone else, because it's fake. Like I mean, I hate to use the word because, like, Mr. Anderson, I always think of his t-shirt, but I hate to use that word, but okay, it's scripted, right? So nobody deserves better, because you know what you're agreeing to. Like, John Cena didn't come back thinking he was going to win. He came back knowing he was going to lose to Roman Reigns. Like, nobody deserves anything in the wrestling business, in my opinion.
No, but I just think, like, John Morrison could have got a decent pay, like kept getting a decent paycheck in Impact. Like, I don't know what he was making there, but you already did the WWE thing. Why go back? I just don't get that.
It's got to be the payday. Has to be.
Yeah, must get paid a ton.
Anyway, he blew them both out of the ring with a very low-powered water gun.
Oh my goodness.
And it was the single dumbest thing I think I've ever, and it makes me wonder, what is your target audience? 7-year-olds?
Yeah. Well, somewhat. Yeah.
So I had
somewhat
this
it is.
pay-per-view as a 7, and then when this segment came up, I had to bump it down to a 6.
No, that's fair. Because, hey, you got to remember, like, the guy I was watching this, and maybe he didn't want us to see the bad stuff. I don't know. But yeah, he fast forwarded that part. So,
dude, you gotta, if it's somewhere on you, like, you have to see how stupid this was.
oh man.
So, okay.
All right, I'll watch it because I'm intrigued now.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, it was stupid, but overall, I just want to hear one more of your thought. What was one more of your thoughts? What was the best? Would you say it was the best match of the night?
I would probably go the women's match, but
yeah,
Edge and
I
Rollins
agree.
was good. Like, there's about 3 to 4 good matches. Like,
I think
the main event matches were really good. I thought a lot of the stuff below that, though, was really short and kind of uneventful.
It's too long. First of all, the show itself is just too long, and you reach a point, and this is what AEW does wrong. I'll wait. All right, so
okay,
yeah, so So let's get to AEW.
Sure.
What do you want to do? You want to go through the show or?
Well, this is your segment now because you can just kind of ask me like what your questions were and what we don't really have to go through the show per se.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff worth kind of missing, but
I watched the show knowing that you were there, so I want to run through the results.
Sure.
Because my questions will be specifically based on the results.
Sure.
So first, give me I guess give me the runaround of going into the arena. Like, what time you got there? Was it packed as soon as you arrived? Were there matches going on preliminary? Like, what was it like?
Yeah, so the doors opened at 5 p.m. Central Time, and we got there about 5:35 about, and we got in the building probably about 5:45, and they were just beginning AEW Dark. I'm sorry, AEW Dark Elevation is what they were doing. They introduced the announcers. They had Justin Roberts kind of like gave you the cue before the show was starting, and people were kind of getting excited, but like a lot of people were just kind of getting their drinks and getting their merch while like these first few matches went on.
So were those your t-shirts that you bought?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yep, I did. I bought one. Actually, it was a front and a back. So what I showed you was the front and the back.
Oh, so which shirt did you buy?
I bought the one that just said AEW on the back. It says AEW Dynamite, and I think it says I was there, and then it's got a picture of like all the wrestlers on the front.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get a T-shirt. It's just like a mandatory thing I do when I go to wrestling events.
No, I think you picked a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the one I really, really wanted.
All right, I'm pulling up the results right now because every time I saw something happen, I said I gotta ask Hurls about this.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll say this: the AEW Dark matches were pretty bad. Even like the main event for it, the AEW Dark Elevation or whatever. I thought they were all kind of pretty bad. Like Brian Cage wrestled in one of them against Anthony Bowens. It still wasn't very good.
Did they film? Wait a minute. What am I reading? Oh, I'm reading Rampage results. No, wait a minute. I want to read Dynamite results. So did they film Rampage after Dynamite?
They did. Yep, so we got to see Dynamite and Rampage.
So you stuck around the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We saw the whole thing.
Okay, so let's start with the first match.
Sure.
Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy.
Terrible. They started it off.
Besides the match,
Tony Khan.
The crowd was behind Orange Cassidy, right?
Yeah, they were. Milwaukee, I don't know. It's not a great wrestling city. Like it's decent. Like you have to understand, like the AWA was, probably the biggest thing in the North around the 70s and 80s. So I feel like once the AWA died, I don't know if Milwaukee's ever been a strong like wrestling city. But a lot of the times I felt like most of the faces were being cheered. There wasn't any like real. We did cheer, like the people cheered for most of the faces and booed the heels.
Can we please talk about the finish of this match?
Well, me and my friend were wondering, well, how the hell was Matt Hardy busted open so bad?
He got hit legit.
Yeah, like we were like from where we were. Ropes. We couldn't really see like what was the move that got him busted open.
He jumped off the top ropes and he tried to land on his stomach and he steady landed on Matt Hardy's face.
Oh,
and he busted him right open because he's green and he's a clown. And he busted him open. And please, were you able to see the finish of this match from where you were sitting? Like how he pinned him?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think so.
Matt Hardy's laying there, right?
Yeah.
And then he takes Matt Hardy's legs, stands over them as if he's going for like a sharpshooter or like a figure four or something like that. Instead, he puts his hands in his pockets, pulls Matt Hardy's legs forward, and pins him.
What? Okay, maybe we didn't see. Yeah, maybe we couldn't see it that clearly.
He
Yeah.
pinned Matt Hardy with his hands in his pockets.
Oh my god. I think this was the part where RVE was getting upset that I was pointing out some of the flaws. So
I just don't. There's no way he hates Orange Cassidy. So I just don't get it. Anyway.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, this is who Matt Hardy's. This is how Matt Hardy wants to lose. Hey, I got a question, man. Matt Hardy's been booked terrible in AEW. Do you think there's any chance he's regretting not going back to Impact where they.
No, I think he's part of the cool club, same as Jericho. He thinks he's cool. He's with the young guys, man. He's cool, man.
Yeah, I know, but he's been booked terrible.
Not only
nothing he's done has really stood out.
His group is the fucking worst group in the entire company.
Yeah, we've heard their entrance music like 4 times during the night.
Same with me. When I went. Yep. Every single person in his group fought that night.
Yep.
I was sick of it.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the next match. There's so many questions I want to ask you. Okay, let's get to the Lucha Bros versus the Varsity Blondes.
Good. That was a good
match. Yeah.
Yeah. So, crowd was in there. That was real. Lucha Brothers were definitely probably the MVPs of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. So my question is, the Varsity Blondes, did you think they were green at all? Like, did you think they were a little green, or do you think they held their own in this match?
Well, I thought they held their own, actually, surprisingly. But yeah. My son also had to go to the bathroom, so I had to take him to the bathroom during this match, unfortunately. Yeah, nothing I could do there.
Okay.
No, but so when we were in the hallway, they were playing the match on the monitors in the hallway. So
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think general consensus everywhere they go is that the Lucha Bros are always steal the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it. They're very entertaining to watch live.
Okay, I want to make sure there's so many questions I had for you. I probably should have written them down, but okay. Jamie Hayter, who nobody knew who the fuck she was when she debuted the week before.
No.
Takes on Red Velvet, who sounds like a cake.
So so the funny thing is I liked Red Velvet's, I liked her entrance music. I liked her dance before, but when she did the backflip where she didn't hit anything, the whole crowd just went silent. Like, first, we didn't know if she got, legit injured. Secondly, it was so bad of a move. Like, you'd have to be the blindest man not to see how bad of a botch that was. It just deflated the crowd there for like a good 5 seconds. Like, we all like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like when Sid probably did his injury in WCW. Like, it was bad.
But would you say you noticed a lot of botches or no?
Yeah, no, we could tell from where we were sitting. We could tell like that was just bad. It was so bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think CM Punk was next. Was he before the Darby Allin match?
Yes.
Okay. How was the crowd for this?
Yeah.
I mean,
he got a huge pop. Huge. Yeah. There was 2 guys that had the biggest pop of the night, and one of them's not even a wrestler. So, no.
Oh.
Giannis.
Oh.
Yeah, Giannis.
Okay, I think we'll get to that when we touch on
that. When that comes. But I mean, CM Punk's pop was huge. He's from this area. I mean, he's from Chicago, but he trains in Milwaukee, so he knows this area pretty well. He got a huge pop.
Right.
So, and I'm not even a huge CM Punk fan, but like if you were in the crowd, like everybody was chanting it, it was almost like hard not, like I didn't say anything, I was.
So did you chant throughout the night? Who would you say did you give a chant for anybody?
I definitely didn't do Freshly Squeezed. I did Delete with Hardy. I did do that.
Did your son come away with this saying, "Man, Dad, that guy's a good wrestler," or "That guy's cool"?
So it's kind of funny with my son. Like, he's not like super into wrestling yet, like real into it. Like, I showed him a lot of the old stuff. So he was kind of only cheering for Sting, right? Really. But he came away like, he did I think he kind of took notice to like the Lucha Brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
He popped for Giannis. I will tell you that, because he's watched basketball a lot more than wrestling.
What were your thoughts on what CM Punk had to say in the ring?
He didn't really say much. He just said like he's not doing the voice of the voiceless anymore, and you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the stuff, he gave the hint to Daniel Bryan, but
that was cute.
He didn't really say much. It was almost like the same promo.
I thought his interview was very, very underwhelming.
There was no direction, and that's that's like a lot of the problem with
he was
AEW.
there just to be there. Like, he was literally there just to be there.
Yes, he gave a speech at the end of the night too to close the show, but other than that, camera? Yes, off camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, him and Christian dropped.
On camera though, he came out literally just to be on the show because he was advertised for the show. Because I don't think he came out literally with any kind of direction to what he was going to say.
Nothing. It was just
the whole giggling thing with Shivani. Like, oh man, everything.
Yeah, what is up with Shivani? Like, caving into all these,
I don't like it.
I don't either. I don't know.
I thought Punk's speech, as good as the first one was, this was doubly as bad as his debut.
Yeah, like there's nothing. They're not doing anything with him. Like, oh, cool. I like you, Darby. I'm gonna wrestle you in a week. Like,
I also thought Darby Allin should have been on the screen.
But CM Punk's all about like not doing the traditional wrestling. So me and you are not gonna like CM Punk, or at least we're not gonna like the fact that what he thinks is good wrestling. Me and you are not gonna be on board with that. Like, he's not even dealing with a heel right now.
I know. Let's get to.
But he got a big pop. But other than that, yeah.
What's funny is, as I believe, was that the right time in the show that I mentioned CM Punk came out? Was it right before the Jon Moxley Eddie Kingston match?
Yes, it was. Yep.
So let me get this straight. I'm trying to get in the head of Tony Khan here. CM Punk is fighting Darby Allin, right?
Yes. Yep.
Darby Allin wrestled in the next match.
Yes.
Why didn't Darby Allin make any kind of appearance during the CM Punk promo?
Honestly, I have no clue.
Why didn't he make his entrance to the ring as CM Punk was leaving? And they had to walk by each other on the entranceway. Yeah,
because this makes no sense. It honestly makes no... there's nothing about this that makes you... This is like, honestly, it seemed to me like a political rally. Like, Punk's just out there to cheer the crowd.
Right.
Rah, rah, rah. That's all he's doing. This honestly it wasn't a good... It just doesn't make any sense.
All right. What do you think of this stupid match? Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston first the wingmen. Here's a quiz. Can you name any of the wingmen?
No. There was a guy I was kind of impressed with, though.
Which one?
Dolph Ziggler's brother.
Yeah, because he
was kind of funny.
Charisma.
Yeah, he's got charisma, and he did a funny dance. So I was like, yes.
I don't know the other two. I know one of them's name is Caesar. I don't know.
Yeah, Caesar.
The third one,
yeah,
I couldn't tell you his name.
J.D. Drake.
Okay,
apparently.
So the fat guy.
Yeah, we all kind of thought he looked like
everybody needs to be in a fucking
boss man
group.
in WCW, kind of a little bit, but
everybody needs to be in a group. Everybody.
Yep. There you go. I know, lazy ass booking.
Here's the thing with this match: if you had to bet money on it,
I'd bet everything.
Was there any even 1% doubt that Darby, Moxley, and Eddie Kingston would win this match?
Nope. The coolest thing about this was when Moxley and Kingston came through the backside of the arena, and we got to, I got clear video shot of that.
That was a great shot. Great shot.
Yep, coming through.
Yeah, I think they're doing Dolph Ziggler's brother a disservice in this company.
Yeah, they should be pushing him. He's got a character.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't value characters though.
So let me ask you this. Do you think the card itself, because I'm about to get to the last two matches and I'm looking at the names, do you think the card itself was kind of underwhelming?
Dynamite sucked. Dynamite sucked. I mean, the crowd
Don't
cheered.
You think that the Lucha Bros
for some things,
Varsity
but
Blonde should have been the main event?
Yes, I do. Yeah. No, my goodness. Just keep going though, because I got something to say.
Let's get to this next match. The Gun Club defeats the Factory. There's a lot of things wrong with this match, but let me hear your thoughts.
You know what? As sad as this is, remind me who's in the Factory again?
Oh man, I think I just swallowed another fly.
I think I was more excited to see Billy Gunn and Big Show. Yeah.
So we know QT Marshall is the leader of this stupid fucking group.
Yeah.
And we know the caveman guy is in it.
Yeah, I do like that guy.
I couldn't tell you the third guy's name if you offered me money. I couldn't tell you who the third guy was in the group. However, it begs the question, what happened to Anthony Ogogo?
That is a darn good question. What happened to Max Caster?
Well, we know what happened to him.
True, but still, they never officially said.
They put this guy over and put him up against Cody Rhodes. He lost and has never been seen again. This is tremendous booking.
Oh, by the way, who the frick is Danny Garcia, man? They are pushing this guy like he's the next coming of Eddie Guerrero.
Here's the thing, though.
Like, nobody popped for this guy when he came out.
No, because they don't know who he is, but he's not bad, like, in my opinion. I didn't think he was that bad, but there's just the booking. He's being booked.
He
ridiculous.
Looks plain as Jane.
But he could talk, no?
I think you're thinking of Ricky Reyes.
Nah,
or Ricky Starks.
Not even his. Yeah,
Ricky Starks. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wait.
That might have been when I texted you this company because sucks. But
me and you, you texted me during this match, and we totally agreed on one thing, and that was that Billy Gunn should be the heavyweight champ of this company.
He looked great. He looked great even from my seats.
Okay.
The Gun Club is like maybe the only faction I actually don't mind.
I want to know. Okay, here's the thing. Faction. They're considered they never even wrestle. This was their first match in, I couldn't even tell you how long. They're just thrown. Here's what's dumb about this booking. They were thrown into a match. They won the match that they were thrown into. And Paul White, the Giant, the Big Show, right?
Yep.
No more BS.
Yep.
Is supposed to fight QT Marshall at the next pay-per-view. Is that right?
Oh, my. Yeah. Yep.
And QT Marshall can't even beat Billy Gunn's sons.
Yep.
Is that not stupid?
And the guy who actually looks like a main eventer can't beat him either, but Nick Corrado.
Right.
Camarado. Yeah. That's wow.
But Comarado's not in a match coming up. QT Marshall is. Should he have lost that match? Or should he have been the one to score the pin?
They should have won. They should have won to put the heat
Jesus Christ.
onto QT
if he
Marshall.
Can't beat Billy Gunn's 12-year-old son, what makes me think he can beat Big Show?
There you go. Makes no... Yeah, he can't.
Dumb.
He
can't.
As
dumb as that was, when we get to the main event, unless you had any more thoughts on that match.
Oh, my God. No, the only cool thing was just seeing Big Show and Billy Gunn. They used to be called, there was a tag team with those two before, but get to the main event. It was
Malachi Black against Brock Anderson.
There was at least a storyline for this. There was at least a storyline. Arn Anderson cut a promo. I popped for Arn Anderson here.
Sure.
But you kind of skipped. I think you skipped over Omega and didn't Omega have a promo?
So
Kenny
I'm just
Omega?
reading the results of the matches. So that's probably the problem.
Okay. I just want to quickly mention there was only one.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I liked about Kenny Omega's promo.
No. I missed some stuff, so I'm gonna go over it
Okay,
right now. But let me
sure.
hear your thoughts on the main event real quick, and then there are a couple other segments
All
let me
right.
go back
So
over.
this is the funny thing. What I thought was so stupid. Like Malachi Black, like yeah, he's a legit guy, and he
Mhm.
does some cool moves. Brock Anderson, like he kind of looks like his dad quite a bit, and he's kind of got the similar attire to him. So I was kind of cheering for Brock here, but the fact that Malachi just ran through him pretty dang quickly, and he takes out Arn Anderson too. And here's the part that was so stupid. Who was the guy to come out and basically not do anything? None of us in the crowd, none of the crowd, I don't think any of the crowd knew who he was. And nobody knew. Like, I asked my friend, like, who is this guy? It was so stupid. Nobody knew who this guy was.
They're so stupid.
Yeah, it was
Oh man,
freaking
they
terrible.
bring
I
out
I
Lee
would have been
Johnson.
so pissed off. What's his name?
His name was Lee Johnson.
Okay, what? This is how they main event Dynamite? Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I
Shit.
was kind of like pissed off. Like, dude, I was at this point I was kind of thinking the night's ruined. You know what I mean? Like, it was so bad. It made no sense. It absolutely made no sense. It was just absolutely terrible. Um, it was so dumb. Like we got
Lee
them.
Johnson.
Yeah. Like, who is this guy?
Doesn't
What?
Lee Johnson like say backstage like, "Hey, maybe I shouldn't be the one to do this because like they're not gonna know who the fuck I am."
Yeah, nobody did. Nobody that I was sitting around knew who this guy was. I looked
Hilarious.
at my friend Travis.
Back-to-back weeks of
I'm
people
like,
running in and nobody knowing who they are. Jamie Hater
yeah,
the week
yeah.
before.
I had no clue. It was awful.
So
It
bad.
was
It's so bad.
absolutely awful.
It's so bad.
By
Okay.
the way, what
Wait.
happened to Ming's son too? Like, where was
I
he?
told you. That was
Yep.
a one-time thing. I told you that.
How stupid.
And you expect us to get behind that match? No, we don't
How
care.
stupid.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we missed a couple things. Let's touch on
I
Omega because
no, I only want to say it because there was one thing I laughed at.
yeah, go
So
ahead.
during Omega's promo, there was a Bucks and Six chant that broke out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Omega actually had one funny line. He's like, well, you guys will see the Young Bucks later. They're not out yet. That was the only thing that I actually kind of like semi-popped for with Omega's promo.
I hate him. I just hate him.
I know.
I just can't stand him. Okay, we missed one more thing on this show. We missed one more thing before we get to Rampage real quick.
Sure.
We missed one more thing. We missed Chris Jericho's segment with MJF.
Oh yeah, where he put the career on the line, AEW
Good
career.
Lord, I put a message in our little chat.
Yeah.
That who gives a fucking shit about these two fighting again? And RV gave it to me like I've never gotten it before. He said that these two are the best thing in wrestling right now. Where do you stand with this angle?
I don't think they're the best two in wrestling, that's for sure. Well, I like Jericho, but
are you
I'm
interested
not
in seeing them fight?
I'm not that big of a fan of MJF. Like I think he almost sounds like he's
joking.
I don't want to say try hard, but he kind of comes off as a try hard at times. Like when he starts screaming that he's going to put Jericho out of AEW forever. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, you don't like Jericho. You want to get him out of there. I understand the match, but it's also like.
I have two questions for you. One, why would Jericho willingly put his career on the line without anyone else asking him to?
He said, yeah,
he said it before MJF even came out. So it was Jericho's idea to put his own career on the line. That's number one, which is stupid.
What, just to get MJF in the ring again? Is that what this is?
I guess so. Okay. But my second thing, which is stupid, is who wants to see these two fight again? They fought 3 times, 1-on-1. Okay. And then they had a fucking, they already had 2 team matches with the Stadium Stampede and
the War Games.
The War Games.
Yeah,
Why
Blood
do
and
we need to
Guts.
see them these two fight again? I just don't. I don't get it.
I don't either. I honestly don't. I don't either. Yeah.
So I guess let me first of all, if you have any other thoughts before we get to Rampage on Dynamite itself, or I guess what you would rate it, or your experience there, and then I have one more question for you after you answer that.
Yeah, well, okay, so being at Dynamite, like, it was cooler than watching on TV, obviously, but
Right.
I thought the show was bad. I thought it was really bad. I thought it was booked terribly. I thought we got a bunch of filler matches. Like, honestly, if I was watching this on TV, I thought we would be watching like WCW Worldwide.
Right.
Because a lot of them were squash matches besides the Young Bucks and the Varsity Blondes.
This company has so many guys they could have put in matches on a night. The first night that CM Punk is on Dynamite, and this is what they chose to do.
They screwed up, and then the ratings show it too.
So here's another question I have for you, real quick: is are you able? So the thing with me, and I get it, the card when I went was probably better than the one that you saw last night.
Yeah.
I mean, not last night, on Wednesday.
Rampage was better. Rampage kind of made up for it, at least.
But for me, I was able to appreciate the difference of watching the booking on TV and it being so fucking god awful, to putting all that out of my mind and just watching these guys fly around the ring for one night. So that's why I enjoyed it. But the booking obviously sucks. But were you able to put that aside and kind of jump in with the crowd and enjoy what they were doing for that one night, or even that was hard?
Well, yeah, like I popped because we got to see Sting. Like he did some stuff on the outside. Do you want to hear a sad story though? Like something that'll kind of make you sad. My son, the whole time, he goes, why isn't Sting getting in the ring?
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh man, that does kind of suck. Like, why isn't he not in the ring? You know, like, okay, I went with my dad too and my friend, and dad knew obviously why he's not in the ring because he's older. But my son's like, Dad, why isn't Sting getting in the ring? Like, why is he on the outside? I was like, oh my God, yeah. But you know, my son is smarter. My son is smarter than the freaking bookers, man.
But he actually can get in the ring because he could still go.
I know he can. I know he can. It's like a waste. It's such a big waste.
Yeah, they don't know how to book Sting. He doesn't need to be Darby's grandpa anymore.
Like, I felt bad. Like, dude, like, if they just put Sting in there, it would have been a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's get to Rampage real quick.
Sure.
Because it was the same night.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay, so Lucha Brothers versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, like, it was a total spot fest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, there's a lot of shit that doesn't really make sense, but you know, spot fests are exciting, obviously, when you see them live. There's no question. But that match was it was really good. Like, I don't really care for Jungle Boy, but that match was really good. Like,
so those are the kind of matches to me that come out better in person than on TV.
They do. Yeah, I agree. Because it was a total spot fest. But that's every Lucha Brother match. Like, I'm not surprised by that. I don't hate spot fest. They do have their place, I think, but not when, you know, you can nitpick the consistency or the realism of a spot fest, obviously, but it was fun to see live. I'm not gonna lie, it was a really good match. Like, finally, like with me, like we got the Lucha Brothers and Varsity Blondes, but I mean, then we had this, and that match was pretty exciting. Like, it's tough, and I'll say this: like, after Dynamite was over, like, we didn't know we were gonna get Rampage as well. I had no clue, so I was like, okay, good, because Dynamite sucks so bad. So at least, like, that at least kind of woke me up a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So maybe that match should have been on Dynamite, but
yeah.
Well, it couldn't have been though because they had the qualifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you had Miro come into the ring, right?
Yeah. First time we saw him all night. Yep.
And he's in an angle with Eddie Kingston and this fucking clown that just got a contract last week.
Yeah, that didn't. I mean,
Miro's a fucking man. Like, I will say that.
Yeah.
Did he get a reaction?
We popped for Miro. Like, we popped for Miro. Like, kind of has that, he kind of talks like Arnold Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we popped for him. Like, he did the accolade. We popped for that. We didn't mind that segment. It wasn't bad. It was cool to see him live.
All right. Then you had a women's match. I mean, this is probably when you went to the bathroom.
What was
Bunny versus Ty Conti.
Yeah, I popped for Bunny only because she was Allie in TNA, but it wasn't very good. Like, Ty Conti was beating her the whole match, it seemed. And then Allie kind of got like a cheap victory at the end there because of Braxton Sutter.
Yeah, the match was 4 minutes.
Or the Blade. Yeah, it wasn't very good, but that was about it. It was the only reason I popped. And let's just say, like, AEW's women's division is still utter garbage. Like, we saw Shida on AEW Dark Elevation. We saw another Japanese wrestler on AEW. But this division is just atrocious.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't get any of their signings. They don't go after, like, their characters aren't appealing enough. They don't have like a Sue Young, a Rosemary, a Havoc, or they don't have a Charlotte Flair. I mean, Britt Baker maybe is like the only one that you can really look at and that's anywhere credible. And I don't think Ruby Riot's going to help that out either. Oh yeah, we saw Nyla Rose too, by the way. Yeah, forgot about to mention that.
So I just remembered one thing that I forgot to ask you. So before this main event of Rampage, which is Christian and Frankie Kazarian, the Elite Hunter, which he goes by now, taking on Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler. But before I ask you about that, so on Dynamite, in that segment with Omega and Christian, when they were in the ring with the mic, did it not seem like Don Callis dominated that segment?
He did.
There was one point, I don't know if you saw this, where he ripped the microphone out of Kenny Omega's hands and kept going and got in Christian's face and was yelling at him.
Because Omega did not get a good pop. And what you heard on TV was exactly what was said. The biggest thing that came out of this was the fans started chanting "piece of shit" because they did the segment. Yeah, that was the biggest thing to come out of here. And then there was a Pepto-Bismol chant that did erupt from Don Callis' suit. But you are exactly right. Callis hogged this whole segment. Like,
it's almost
Omega
like
was
he's the
nowhere
champ
to be found. Like, I feel like AEW is starting to finally realize that Omega can't talk. So, but yeah, like Don Callis, this whole segment was about Don Callis.
All Omega does is throw his hands in the air and act like he doesn't know how to be a heel because it's not genuine. It's an act. It's clearly an act. So he's flailing his arms around and nobody cares, dude.
Yeah, it does seem like he's like acting to be a heel, and it's like Christian comes up with good insults. Yeah, and Kenny Omega can't hang with him. He can't give Christian an insult because he knows he'll get tore apart. And that's why I feel like Kenny Omega's like his mic skill game is terrible.
Horrible.
Like, it is really bad.
I'm glad you got to see it in
starting
person.
to see this. And I wanted to bring this to the show because he could not hang. He couldn't even come close to hanging with Christian. So,
right.
It's
embarrassingly bad.
It was bad. It was like watching a pro versus somebody who's like an amateur and just starting off. And I'm, just speaking on the mic skills department.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So it's terrible. He's just awful.
Brian Myers did a hell of a lot better job than Kenny Omega ever did when they had their segment 2 weeks ago on Impact.
Yeah. So the main event, Christian, Kazarian, Omega, Cutler. I think we knew who would get the upper hand in this.
Yeah, I'm glad we got this as a main event and not the crap we got on Dynamite because that was awful. But at least this did feel like we got some of our money's worth because you know, I mean, Brandon Cutler's a joke. I'm not really
Such a
sure if
joke.
I'm sold on him per se. I actually didn't mind. The one thing that did make me pop was he did this like Michael Jackson like dance move that was kind of funny.
Everything's got to be funny in this show.
Yeah, I know. He did this like, you know, that move was kind of funny. But the match itself wasn't bad. It was cool to see Christian and Kazarian come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I enjoyed that at least.
So when that ended, was that the last match of the night, like overall?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
But they did like a whole segment with CM Punk coming back out and Christian and Kazarian. They all cut promos.
So let's hear. I've been waiting. I'm gonna wait to ask my final question because I know we got your hot corner. But I want to ask you, first of all, your overall experience, and I guess what you would rate the show. Like, did you enjoy AEW?
Well, I just want to say, I don't know, did they show Giannis on Rampage? Because I didn't.
I didn't watch Rampage.
Okay, I didn't see Rampage, so I don't know about the Giannis segment, but the Giannis segment like got a huge pop out of me. Obviously,
I mean, first of all,
out.
Is there anybody that learned how to ride coattails harder than Giannis's brother?
Which one? No,
I mean, was it Thanasis?
Was that Thanasis or was that Costas?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh,
no, that's Thanasis.
Okay.
That's Thanasis.
He was out there. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell which brother that was, but I thought it was Thanasis, but I wasn't sure. But yes, you are exactly right. I will say though, like Giannis popped huge during that Lucha Brothers Jurassic Express match. Like you could see he's a genuine wrestling fan. He loves wrestling.
But he left before the main event, I think.
Yes, he did. He did. Yeah, like we didn't. I think he was escorted. No, maybe he did stay. He just sat down. Like he was standing up during the Jurassic. Did you have to wear a mask? No mask.
So he just chose to wear one in the ring.
Yeah, he wore one during the parade too. I don't know if you saw my parade video.
Yeah. Okay, I have a good question for you.
Oh, by the way, too, when Giannis was getting out of the ring, he slipped on the ring curtain.
Yeah.
But he was holding on to the top rope because he's so tall. So that honestly saved him from maybe not tearing his ACL. I'm not kidding, man. I'm like, this is freaking scary. But it was kind of funny though. Like when he went into the ring, he actually did like a roll through, like a wrestler would do. So I actually, you know, we popped hard for Jan. Obviously, we did. Sure. You know, that was.
I think I read online that he was like the biggest pop of the night.
I think he was, man. Like we were just getting back to our seats too, because I think we bought a shirt at this point, and we just got back to our seats and he was coming out. Like it was a total surprise. Like we didn't expect it, so we were very happy about that. So.
Okay. I have one more question. I don't know if I should ask it now or you want to get to the hot corner and then we could close.
No, ask the question.
Okay. So here's my question for you right now.
Yep.
You went to AEW. You watched SummerSlam. You had a big wrestling weekend.
Yep. Huge.
I think that you obviously you still think Impact is the number one company in your personal view, correct?
I have reasons for it. Yeah, I'm just gonna get
no. I'm not
fanboy, but that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying you do, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. What in your mind, after watching both, one in person and one on pay-per-view, what's better, AEW or WWE?
Oh man. If you were going to go with just SummerSlam, I would have said SummerSlam would have been the better show. And I wasn't live at SummerSlam, but like I mean, just doing the eyeball test, SummerSlam.
Well, that's kind of what we are going based off of, because I don't think or you watch WWE on a weekly basis. So
that's hard. They're two different booking. Their booking styles are completely different.
If we were just to say SummerSlam and what you saw, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, SummerSlam was definitely better. Yeah, the AEW has too much filler.
So I guess
way too much filler. They have none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense on how they. Nothing makes sense on how they do their placing of matches. None of it makes sense as to why they bring these no-namers out and like how you're expected to know them. Nobody's gonna pop for Lee Johnson.
Right.
I think that just does a guy like Lee Johnson, who's probably an up-and-coming wrestler, does him no good. Just bringing him out there.
Yeah.
Just like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a big issue with AEW.
I think we can both agree that they have potential as a company, but with
Yeah,
this
they
booking,
do.
they will never ever get me interested, or in my mind, succeed to a larger level because their booking is so bad.
And then when I have my son saying, "Why isn't Sting in the ring?" He knows who Sting is. Sting's a huge name in the business, who still wants to wrestle, by the way. I think Tony Khan's
still wrestle.
Yeah, it's awful. That part pisses me off to no end. I know this is gonna be a longer show, but it really does. And WWE, yeah, you like the booking would make a lot more sense in WWE. I'll give you that. I will give you that. I guess the only reason I'm putting AEW maybe even just a little ahead because I like their roster and I see the potential, but they're not living up to the potential. But that's why I like Impact though, because like, dude, I enjoyed a Joe Doring versus Luke Gallows match. I had no problem. They're two big guys. Like, I'm looking at wrestling a totally different way. I'm not wanting spot fest all the time. I had no problem with that match. I don't know why AEW thought it was so
you just
bad.
reminded me. Yeah, you just reminded me of one thing. Here's my issue with AEW. Here's another issue, and I know we're dragging this on, but here's my issue with them is throughout the night you see how many near falls in every match, in every single match. Okay, you see 100 near falls throughout the night. You see people kicking out from every move possible, crazy moves, and they're kicking out from everything. That the time you reach the end of the night and you reach the main event, you've seen it all. You've seen everything.
Yes.
What do you really need to see in the main event that you haven't already seen throughout the show? Somebody flying over the top ropes, we saw it. Somebody kicking out from the craziest move, we saw it. I mean, you've seen everything that it reaches the point where you've had enough.
Yeah, I just didn't really. I don't know. Like, we got a really bad Dynamite main event, so that was really bad. Like, I can't believe that was the main event. Like I said, if Rampage didn't happen, we would have gotten one of the worst shows would have ever been to. Like, I was thinking about this, like, comparing this to a TNA show I went back to in the day.
Yeah,
the TNA show just blew it out of the water.
Absolutely.
However, we did get that Lucha Brothers match, which was fun to watch, and
but even that match, Hurls is like why is there a referee in that match other than counting to 3?
Yeah, well, did you hear Mike Chioda?
No.
He trashed the AEW refs, how they don't do any of the rules.
Terrible. It's just terrible. And I'm watching the ref throughout the match, and he's not doing anything. He's just
Chioda. I guess Tony Khan didn't want to hear it. And that's why Chioda hasn't been back. I don't know if you heard that either, but
no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I guess the guy doesn't really take criticism too well. This is what it kind of says to me. So yeah, man, I was.
Any final thoughts on the show?
Oh, I'm happy I went. I had a good time, but I'm not gonna lie and say that at points I was just questioning what the hell was happening.
Right.
There were times where I was just like, why are the match placement? Why are we getting this match as the main event? I like Malachi Black. I really do. I think he's a hell of a talent. I probably like him.
But you weren't the only one wondering. The whole crowd was wondering. Like what was going on? Like when Lee Johnson ran in. Or...
What that match should have probably been like first or second on the card.
Right.
And what does that do for Brock Anderson now? Like, nothing. I don't really see where he goes now. Like
nothing.
It hurt his career, if anything.
It was all for Malachi Black.
Yes, to put him over. Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna get a Lee Johnson versus Malachi Black match now?
No.
Like,
Jesus Christ!
No. Oh, that was awful. That part was awful. I hope RVE and AEW really do listen to my critique here.
So the AEW is starting a trend where they're going to end the show every week with somebody who the crowd has no the fuck idea who it is.
Yeah, it's awful.
We're
It's
at
awful,
2 weeks
man.
in a row now. We got to
Like-
keep the trend going next week.
It's kind of sad that the Bucks, Giannis was one of the biggest highlights there, and the Bucks and 6 chant, and yeah, I'm glad I went. I had a good time. I can't say I didn't. I bought a T-shirt because I wanted. If I go to a wrestling event, I like to buy a T-shirt. So I'll definitely go back if they do come, but I'm not going to say it was a good show.
They're coming back to me in October.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
October,
I didn't know that.
October 15th and 16th. That'll be here 2 nights in a row.
Wow. Isn't there a Dynamite on the 17th too, which is like the same day as Bound for Glory? I believe there is.
Maybe they're filming it the day before or something.
Oh, that could. Oh,
Yeah.
that could be. That's
probably why they're here 2 days in a row.
Oh, and that's why some of the wrestlers will be able to show up at Bound for. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, but I will go to any wrestling that appears in my city, and WWE is actually going to be here for Raw, so.
Oh, wow.
I'll be going to that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you want to come down, tickets on me.
All right. If I
Come down.
can.
Couple days.
Awesome. Yeah.
I got an open apartment on the beach. It's all yours for 2 nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah,
that's my final thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a good time, but
yeah.
it wasn't anything mind blowing by any means.
Let's get to your hot corner.
All right. My hot corner this week got me thinking, what division was better? What would you say was better? The WCW Cruiserweight division in 98 or the TNA X division in 2005? Because I was thinking this is a really hard question because they were both really good.
Shit, that's probably your toughest question to date.
Yes.
And there's only 2 options, and it's the tough one.
Yeah, they're both really solid divisions.
It's so hard. Like recency bias would make me choose Impact.
Yeah.
TNA.
Yeah.
But man, that's tough because they had some stars in both.
Stacked. They were really stacked.
I think if I was forced to choose one, I think I'd have to go with TNA's X division.
I agree. I give it slightly. I think the WCW Cruiserweight division relied a little too much on the Luchadors. They had a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Jericho, Malenko, and all that.
Benoit.
You did.
Hoovy.
Yep. Hoovy, Ray.
Ultimo Guerrero was
You mean Ultimo Dragon?
Ultimo Dragon. Yeah, my bad.
Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, there was.
Why did I say Ultimo Guerrero? It's weird.
You've combined them both.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, they were
I'm just giving it slightly. But the X division had Austin.
The X division is also the reason TNA is probably still in business today because it put them on the map.
Yes. That's another reason I'm giving it just slightly to the X division.
Their main core, their original X division, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles,
Petey Williams, Chris Sabin,
Michael Shane.
Oh yeah, Michael Shane, Matt Bentley. Gosh, Kazarian was part of that.
Daniels,
you even had Austin Aries, Alex Shelley. Yeah, it just goes on and on. Low key, Amazing Red.
Somehow they managed to put all these guys over. They were all threats.
Yep.
Nobody was a tool except like Shark Boy.
Shark Boy was like the joke of the division, but he's still there.
Yeah,
you still remember him.
Even he had like some moments that were amusing.
Yes.
Elix
Universal
Skipper
Studios
was good. There's so many guys, man. So many guys.
That's why, the X division, and you had guys even coming in from like Mexico when they did the World Cup stuff, and that's why I'm giving it to the TNA X division too. But I thought it was a good question to bring to
That's a great question. I'm going to say that's probably your best question to date.
Oh,
yeah. Wow. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
I'll take it.
That was because it's so tough. It's such a tough decision.
It really is.
But that X division pioneered my interest in Impact, in TNA. But also they managed to balance it with bringing in such stars for the heavyweight division too. So it was such a good time. Yeah,
it created a lot of main eventers, and so did the WCW Cruiserweight division. But I think the X division did did
Well,
even
the
more. So.
WCW Cruiserweight division created the guys that went over to WWE, right? Benoit,
Yes, well, I mean, you would
Eddie.
have, Benoit, Mysterio, and Guerrero, like they
Right.
all became main eventers. But then you had Samoa Joe, AJ Styles.
Yeah, I think TNA just outnumbers and outdoes them a little
just
bit.
Just a tad. It's very close though. So
yeah.
All right,
question.
man. This was a very long show, but it was really good. Like,
yeah,
I kind of feel excited to talk about wrestling at least right now, going into Bound for Glory at least. But
well, I hope our fan listens to the whole show because it was long.
I do too, because I think they gotta hear, they gotta hear like what it's like to go to an AEW event. So
yeah, and I hope RVE and AEW dude listen to it as well. I guess we're cutting off the WCW
I hope
from
so
his
too.
name now.
Yes. I don't know what he is now. He's just dude. He's
so
just
I
a
hope,
dude.
yeah, I hope they listen and I hope they get out to a show because for me and you to be the only two that have gone to an AEW
No
show,
kidding.
Quite comical.
No kidding. And Griggs likes AEW a little better than Impact too, but
Griggs needs to get his ass on a show, otherwise his name is not going to be mentioned on the show.
Right. For all we know, it could just be dude's alter ego. No, I'm just joking. I know Griggs. I've been at a show before with him. So.
I think we need to get all five of us, to a show in person. That's my goal.
That'd be
for
awesome.
All of us.
That'd be awesome.
And we got to vlog it.
That'd be awesome.
That's my goal, and I don't know when an opportunity would have to do that. We'd all have to somehow.
Yeah, we'd have to coordinate. And find a show, but
we got WrestleCade coming up.
Yes, that's a big show. That's always a big show.
Yeah,
isn't that North Carolina?
Yep. North Carolina.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I
fun.
think we're gonna end it. So yeah, I mean, you got my experience with AEW, so
it's very similar to mine.
Yes. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised that we got Rampage too. I will say that. And
well, here's my question: Are you now that AEW is not in Milwaukee next week? Are you tuning in on TV? Me either.
It depends. It really depends. I mean, next Thursday, it's actually Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing engaging me to tune in. Right. I think it's the go home show. I think it's going to be even worse than what the one we saw in Milwaukee. So yeah. You got my answer right there. Well, folks, thank you for tuning into this really, really long show, but we hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week. Goldberg, any final thoughts?
Let's try to hopefully we can squeeze in a show before, what is it, next Sunday? Is next Sunday the pay-per-view for AEW?
It is.
Well, we know that's going to be a big one, so.
I'd be shocked if RV didn't want to get on with that.
Yeah,
but he may
I
not,
think he said maybe Sunday or Monday, so hopefully we could squeeze one in. For our biggest number one AEW fan.
That's right. For that one, we are out of here. We'll see you next week. Peace.